Sometimes people talk about freedom as if it's an American value or it's a British value or Western values. The idea of freedom, it's a universal value of the human spirit. And everywhere, anytime, any place people get the opportunity to choose, they choose to be free. And why wouldn't you?
Nosotros, los que no nacimos en libertad, los que no hemos conocido la libertad, yo creo que el solo hecho de quererla, de luchar por ella sin verla y sin conocerla, yo creo que dice mucho lo que significa esa gran palabra.
인간이라면 누구에게나 있는 게 사실 자유라고 생각을 해요. 누구에게나 인간으로서 누릴 수 있는 권리, 행복 이런 것들이 다 자유라고 생각을 하는데
What freedom means to me is everyone basic rights are granted in equally, respectfully and with dignity, regardless of differences.
Human beings have tried to translate that God-given right into political rights so that we are protected from the tyranny of the state, from the arbitrary power of those who would rule us.
In a way, the public embrace that we can have political change without violence, just through political debates and through ballot bags.
Let's ask the people how they wish to live.
It's not a matter of choosing, the political party from the left or political party from the right, but go to vote, because hundreds of people died in order for you to go to vote.
There's a difference between rights and liberties. Rights are what people have by virtue of being human beings, but civil liberties are contractual obligations that governments have to respect the rights of people. These are embedded in constitutions, embedded in agreements, embedded in an understanding that governments have with their own people, that they're there to serve the people, and that they have to respect the rights of freedom of expression, freedom of assembly, freedom of the press, and so forth.
In the case of a nation, laws are quintessential in guiding the powers of the state, the powers of agents of the state, and the powers of the people who are ruled or governed by that government.
Buscar donde las personas puedan moverse libremente, donde puedan tener sus propios negocios, donde pueda tener sus intercambios entre países, donde pueda existir un pueblo con valor.
In order to sort of carry the responsibility about your own country by the people, then the best system is through election, elected leadership.
인간의 자유를 잘 보장하고 또 충분히 보장하기 위해서 부단히 노력하는 정부의 형태는 민주주의 사회밖에 없다고 생각합니다.
Too often, democracy is seen as an event which happens once in 5 years. You go and vote. But it isn't. It's much more than that. It has to be.
It's the people who have to take charge of their destiny. If you really believe in democracy, this is how it works.
El futuro de la humanidad es la democracia, porque el ser humano únicamente se puede realizar física y espiritualmente con libertad. Y si no hay democracia, no hay libertad.
I believe that freedom is a gift from God and the hope of every human heart. Freedom inspired our founders and preserved our union through civil war and secured the promise of civil rights. Freedom sustains dissidents bound by chains, believers huddled in underground churches, and voters who risk their lives to cast their ballots. Freedom unleashes creativity, rewards innovation, and replaces poverty with prosperity. And ultimately, freedom lights the path to peace.